all you AEW wrestling fans out there. This is Red is Power, and I'm back at the Spotlight of the viewing station to bring you our next exciting action figure to come out of the Unrivaled Collection Series 3. This is our second AEW Women's Champion, RIHO. So before we take a look at the action figure, we'll take a look at the packaging to kick things off here. It's your basic packaging for the Unrivaled Collection, which isn't a bad thing. It's a really good thing, except for one little detail I'll get to in just a moment. Here's a picture of RIHO here. Nice side profile. Unrivaled Collection, ages 18 plus. Number 20 of the entire series as a whole, but for Series 3, she's our second figure to come out of this. RIHO, which is done in that nice gold foil. AEW up above, All Elite Wrestling. Nice, shiny, reflective gold foil all around. The packaging, which is magnificent. On this side of the packaging, we've got the letter W at the bottom corner here, which if you remember in the previous review, which was pack, we had the letter A. Now we've got W, so AW. What are we getting at here? Who knows? Anyway, to the back of the packaging, we've got what looks to be RIHO putting a submission hold on Nyla Rose. Here's the autograph of RIHO. We have RIHO. This is her representation of her attire from AEW Dynamite, which was October 2nd, 2019 in Washington, D.C. Other figures available in this series. We've seen Pac already. Now we're looking at RIHO. Next, we're going to be taking a look at Orange Cassidy, which is already a spoiler. Then probably Darby Allin, and then the Young Bucks probably as a whole. Now taking a look at the figure. The figure comes with some contents here, which we'll go ahead and go through with these interchangeable hands. I am not a fan of alternate hands for figures because they just get all over the place and they get lost real easily. But as it is, for what they are, they're okay accessories. If anything, you know, rather than just having the figure, yeah, it's nice to have additional hands where you can have different displayable options. I apologize for the brightness going on here. It's just I'm testing a new light system behind my camera, so I know there's been a lot of complaining in the past with it being so dark in the center point of the review where the figure comes up close in your face. So I'm working on it. I'm trying something here. So she's got some nice open hands here for like if she's waving at the crowd, which is pretty nice. We've got this pointing finger here, which kind of reminds me of Kenny Omega's, except the thumb's not sticking up, but pretty cool. It's only for her left hand though, so it's that. And then we've got the balled up fist, which I showcased just a moment ago, and I'm showing one more time. There you go. And this is for her right hand, by the way, just in case you were wondering. So yeah, she comes with a bunch of left hand accessories and maybe just one or two right hand accessories. But what I prefer on my figures is just the open hands where they can actually grip their accessories they come with, such as the AEW Women's World Championship in all of its nice shiny reflective glory from this nice gold plating, which is very good. Look at the detail going on with the strap itself, especially with all the dots here that are actually painted up in gold. That's little details like that I would not come to expect. This shows that Wicked Cool Toys and Jazzwares really are paying close attention to every fine detail about their professional wrestling action figures, especially their championships. Look at that. It's just so good. My only one gripe that I've got about this is just that and maybe they plated it just a little too much and covered up the text. I can't read any of this when compared to the AEW World Championship, which I do have right here. And you can read where it says World Champion right there. Upside down, of course, but it does say it, World Champion. You can actually read it. You can't read anything on this, especially AEW. You can see where it's made out because of the silver paint for the A and the W, but the E is very much non-present there. So, you know, work a little bit on that, guys. But anyway, what do we do with the championships? We can put them in their hands. We can put them on their shoulders as if they're walking to the ring. And, you know, they're presenting the championship as they should because they're the champion, right? And what we can really do, which is probably the best part about these things, is that we can unpeg it from the back. We got all these optional sizes here by the holes, and we can put this around her waist. Yes, I'm doing this on camera. There will be no jump cutting here to put it on. And it shouldn't be that rough anyway, because this is actually a very, very sturdy plastic that they are using for the belt when compared to the AEW World Title, which is a nightmare to put on their figures or around their waists because it's just too gummy, it's too soft. This is a different material that they are using, and it really does show because it's thicker, it's stronger, and it's harder, and by harder, I mean it's very easy to peg it in place. All 4 pegs are connected, as you can see. This is incredible. It's a nice improvement overall that I kind of wish they'd go back and redo with the AEW World Title. Quickly, so we can look at the champion herself here, RIHO, who's disappearing in the light. Let me go ahead and readjust this just a little bit. See, this is what it would look like without a light in the center behind the camera. So now that I have one, there's 3 settings. I think I'll use the second one here so she's not completely washed out with all the white going on. But you can see that sculpt that everyone makes mention about. Yeah, I would have preferred if they had used the facial likeness that was for their chase figure of RIHO. This screaming head should have been the chase figure, since obviously it would have been the less produced figure. Whatever. You know, it does look like RIHO in certain angles on the figure, so I'm not really going to complain about it as much as some people have on YouTube. So, for what it is, it's not bad. It's nicely printed. I'll give them that. The eyes are nicely placed centered. We do have nice paint work around the lips and the teeth and the tongue, so for what it is, it looks good. There's a little gash right there in between that eyebrow. You can kind of see it right there. That's not accurate to RIHO. She doesn't have any missing portions of her eyebrow, but oh well. It's my figure. I could probably do something about it. Your results are going to be different anyway. So here's a nice look all around with her ring attire, and yes, this does move way too much, but it's because it's a separate piece and it's made of that very soft, forgiving material, so it does not hinder the articulation, which we'll get to in just a bit, and I do appreciate that. Look at this. Look at all this painted detail here. Jazzwares, Wicked Cool Toys, whichever one you want to say, they spared to no expense. They actually put some of the striping here going down her arms actually into the joint itself. Look at that. See that right there? It's gone. Now it's back. See, it's in the joint. You don't see toy companies doing that kind of detail. Usually they'll just leave it out and just break up the design. But as it is, it's really appreciative. Very nice attention to detail. And the fact that it's not getting scraped up by the moving of the joint here. Wow, they knew what they were doing. Nice execution all around. Really good. Here's your butt shot in case you want to see that. Not my favorite attire of her from AEW, but, you know, it's probably her most used one, even though she hasn't been around for a long time. Hopefully she'll be back very soon, sometime this year. Get that championship back. Anyway, let's do some articulation here. We'll go through the pointers. We got the ball joint at the head, the hinge joint at the neck. We got the pin disc shoulder joints. It gets a lot of inward and outward movement. You get your full 360 without any hindrance by this piece here. We got a bicep swivel cut. We've got double jointed elbows, which is lovely on my women figures. We've got wrist rotation, a hinge joint for inward and outward movement on all the hands she has. We do have a ball jointed upper torso. We got waist rotation, which is nice. We got ball jointed hips to get that much kicking forward. We get that much going back. You can get this much of a split, which is okay. We got a thigh swivel cut. We got double jointed knees. That does get a pretty good range of play, even with the knee pad here, which does break up the articulation point just a little bit. We do have a hinge joint for up and down movement at the feet, which does break up the sculpt down here, but it's an action figure. What do you expect? And lastly, we got that lovely ankle rocker. Not everybody's going to be impressed by this, but I will say for what she is offering here, this is a magnificent figure, even if you don't like the head sculpt. If you can find the chase figure with the closed mouth, by all means, she does have a different attire. So, you know, you're not getting the same figure over again. More power to you. Those chase figures are hard to come by. These figures are hard to come by as it is. So if you can even find them in stores, pick them up. Pick her up. She is a really good figure. You can't blame Wicked Cool Toys. This was a hand-sculpted figure, just like Pac was in the previous review. What are you going to do about it? Maybe over time we'll get another RIHO figure and another opportunity at that to have a better likeness to her. As it is, it's still an amazing figure. Loads of articulation, great paint applications. Her attire is on par with that, what's seen on AEW Dynamite. And like I said, I mean, there's lots to offer here. Interchangeable hands. We have the Women's Championship, which I was not expecting for many more waves down the road. So I like it. It's a really good figure. Pick her up if you can. But we're not done there. I know you guys want to see a size comparisons to wrap this up, and that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and bring in the previously reviewed figure. Here is Pac from Series 3, who's finally holding his chair in his hands. Did you notice that? Brandy from Series 1. And you can see, good scale between the two. RIHO is supposed to be a lot smaller in comparison, so it works. Mr. Orange Cassidy himself, who is going to shine in all of his glory. The orange will shine at the spotlight of the reviewing station next time. Alright, so that's gonna do it, guys. If you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. Leave them down below in the comment section of the video. If you enjoyed today's spotlight review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until next time, my pro wrestling fans, this is your unprofessional toy reviewer, Red is Power, saying, fare thee well, so long, goodbye, and get out. Thanks for watching.